As you know, Dharwad Katte, which came into existence 2 years ago, conducted programs on literature, culture, society in Kannada and English, and it has reached across the globe. Dharwad Katte viewers are in all the states and it has been welcomed heartily. It is basically a literary, cultural, and a linguistic platform. It has conducted over 100 special talks and it has started its own website as well. And Dharwad Katte has also started a bilingual journal.
You can sit here.
In the coming January, that is January 2023, Dharwad Katte is organizing Sahityotsava in Dharwad. And in the coming February, that is February 2023, Dharwad Katte is organizing an international conference in Goa. This is our upcoming plans. In the guidance and presidency of Professor Basavaraj Donur, President of Dharwad Katte has been successfully reaching its event across the country. Today, Dharwad Katte is conducting a panel discussion on Professor P.V. Kattimani sir's book NEP 2022, The Game Changer. For this very special program, I welcome Professor Battu Narayan sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central University of Karnataka. I also welcome Professor Tejasvi Kattimani sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central Tribal University, Vijayanagaram, Andhra Pradesh. I also welcome President Dharwad Katte and the Registrar, Central University of Karnataka, Professor Basavaraj Donur sir. I welcome Professor Vijay Naganawar sir, Dean, Arts Faculty, Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, and Dr. Lingamurthy, who are going to participate in the panel session. I also welcome our media persons who have been key in taking all our events across the globe. I also welcome our audience, our members of Dharwad Katte, before I hand over the platform to Professor Basavaraj Donur sir. Now I request Professor Basavaraj Donur sir to start the panel discussion. Over to Professor Basavaraj Donur sir.
Thank you, Dr. Prakash. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
The members and viewers of Dharwad Katte, good evening to you. I take this opportunity again to extend a warm welcome to Professor Battu Satyanarayan sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central University of Karnataka, Kalburgi. And I also welcome Professor Tejasvi Kattimani sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central Tribal University, Vijayanagaram, of Andhra Pradesh, Vijayanagaram. Professor Vijay Naganawar, Dean, Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, and my colleague, good friend Lingamurthy, Central Institute of Karnataka. So today we have the Dharwad Katte has organized panel discussion on NEP 2020, The Game Changer, written by Professor Tejasvi Kattimani. It is one of the best sellers in the country today. And copies are being sold as hot cakes. And the readers who have purchased the books and read the books are giving their inputs, their opinion on social media. This is an important book, about which we are here to discuss today. And I also take this opportunity to say one or two words about the author of this book, Professor Tejasvi Kattimani. Professor Tejasvi Kattimani is basically a professor of Hindi, and he was the Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Amarkantak, and now he is the Vice Chancellor of Central Tribal University of Andhra Pradesh in Vijayanagaram. And when he was in IGNTU, he was appointed as the member of the NEP drafting committee. He was part of it. And with his long experience as professor, as vice chancellor, and his experience in academics research helped him write this very important book. And the book addresses several issues that the educationists and the builders of education, teachers, students, and also institutions are facing after the NEP 2020 was implemented in the country, a year ago. Now, the structure of the panel discussion is it will last for 1 hour 50 minutes, 1 hour 50 minutes. There are four panelists, including the author of the book, Professor Tejasvi Kattimani. I'm very happy that my own Vice Chancellor, Professor Bhattu Satyanarayana sir, despite his very hectic, busy schedule, I know how busy he was today, especially, found time for the Dharwad Katte. He has a lot of personal love and respect for Tejasvi Kattimani sir. So it will last for 150 minutes, and there will be 2 rounds of discussion. And I will ask questions to all the panelists, including Professor Kattimani. And you need not confine yourself to the questions that I'm going to ask. You are free to discuss all issues, any issue in connection with the NEP in the light of the book NEP 2020, The Game Changer, written by Professor Tejasvi Kattimani. And we can also take questions from the audience. I should also mention that a lot of our colleagues from IGNTU have joined the program today. More than 30, colleagues of ours have joined, and a lot of people from Karnataka and several other parts of the country have also joined this program. With this short introduction to the structure of the program, I think I will start the panel discussion. Uh, uh, So to start with, I have one question for Professor Bhattu Satyanarayan sir, and I must also inform the audience that Professor Bhattu Satyanarayan was a member of a lot of committees constituted by the UGC and since 2010, 2016, 2018. He was an integral part of drafting of many guidelines which play an important role in the field of higher education. He has his own ideas and thoughts about education because he spent his entire life career in the area of education. He is basically a professor of chemistry, but he can address several issues, including literary, linguistic, political, social, etc., etc. Sir, I once again welcome you to the Harvard Katte. We are very happy that you have joined us, and your presence is a big moral boost to all of us. My question to you, sir, can you please comment on the best features of National Education Policy 2020 and explain the need for NEP 2020? Over to Professor Bhattu Satyanarayan, sir.
So, good evening to everyone. Professor Kattimani ji, so the author of this book and also member of the NEP 2020 the draft committee. So he has contributed a lot for this development of this NEP 2020 document. And our registrar and other guests were participating today, and invitees, all the participants. So I'm very happy to associate with this. The book first, particularly our Kattimani, with his experience, he wrote this book because he involved and he participated in implementation and development of this document and this policy matter. So with his own experience, he wrote this book, that is NEP 2020, a game changer. Definitely, it is a game changer. So far, whatever the education policies have come, they only recommended to strengthen the ongoing education system only. That is the first Radha Krishna Commission, then Kothari Commission, and the New Education Policy in 1986. And they, when 1986 also only they stressed for the use of blackboard in the classroom everywhere, because at that time everything is not available like that. Now it is a digital area. Now this NEP 2020 also emphasizing the utility of the digital in the classroom. That is it. That is more effectively. The moreover, this is the totally change from the whatever we are teaching and learning so far the education system. So far, what is happening in the existing education system? The students, they're fighting, and they're competing only to get the more marks. They are not at all bothered about the creativity, and people are not able to solve the even their own problem. If any challenges comes, they are running away. Even people who after joining the IITs, so they are committing suicides. That means that our education is not developing the confidence among the students. And after then, you see, if that attitude, if they enter into society, then how can we expect them to face the challenges in the society? Here, this NEP 2020, it is emphasizing to develop the holistic development of a student. That is the most important feature of this NEP 2020. And the knowledge, the education system that develops knowledge. At the same time, knowledge and also the skills both are important. Now, one side we are saying that we are only coming with some degree, and we don't have any application for it. We are lacking skills, and every policymaker is talking about the employability skills of a graduate, or even to the engineering graduates. They're commenting that the 20% of the engineering graduates who are coming out every year are not even employable. So then you see, how can we expect the other ordinary graduates like who are coming with the BA, BSc, become like this? Only engineering means that is a skill course, the technical course. If they are not employable, how can we expect from this other graduate programs, non-professional graduate programs to get some kind of skills? Because our education system so far have not stressed about the skills for the students. And after coming up out only with this degree, sometimes only everyone is waiting only for the government jobs and one post. Thousands or lakhs of candidates are applying for the post, and you are saving the competition. Whenever any examination is conducted, how many students are writing and appearing? Lakhs of students, because our education system is training only like that. Because the students, those who are coming out of the universities with PhD, now they are attending some, even some constable post is advertised. They are attending now. That is what purpose they have dedicated for after PG and PhD 4 years, 5 years. Also, we have not taught the life skills. That was lacking in the present education system. That's why now this education system, new education system, this national education policy 2020 is emphasizing the skills apart from this our knowledge. That is most important. So that's why in everywhere from the school itself, from fifth onwards, some vocational courses should also be introduced along with this regular course. That is one of the important features of this national education policy. Even the graduation or in the post graduation, where the students should learn skills apart from knowledge. The skill, knowledge, both they go together. Then only we can say that the person is a fully developed person. We can say that gives all-round development of a person. Then they will face the challenges in the society, and they will search some kind of job by their own without that is waiting for the that is competitive examinations of this. Okay, they can write, but they should learn about the skills, life skills. So after coming out of the university system, what to do? They should know about their future. That some education should give some kind of direction. That NEP 2020 is giving the direction. And here, so far in the education system, in the degree system, what we have seen. So once a candidate enter into the degree, some due to some unavoidable circumstances, if they dropped, and if they spend 2 years, their education goes waste. And if they want to come back again, they are not eligible. All these conditions are prevailing. So now with this national education policy, it is also introducing this multi-entry and multi-exist in the education system. So that is, student can exit at any time. That is after first year, completion first year. If a student exit, he will be given some certificate course. So then, if they exit at the second year, then a diploma degree will be awarded. When they exit at third year level, that is a bachelor degree. And if they continue 4 years, then they will be given some honors course, honor certificate. Like this is giving, and the student, whenever again if the condition favors, he can come back and again he can join and he can pursue the education. And while leaving this institution at first year level, and they NHP 2020 also advocating to teach some skills, employable skills. With that, he can settle somewhere to earn something. So that is also, it is stressing that one. Whenever the second year, that is a diploma course is certificate is given, along with that, the student also should learn some skills. So if he come with that skills, he can get some job somewhere. So that is advocating, because the industry is required. So that is, in our country, what we are facing today, we are everything we are that is importing, and we are utilizing those things. We are not at all producing or manufacturing the goods here, because we are not taught these skills. Even if you take the China or Japan, where they are from, where all these goods we are importing, and indirectly we are giving the employment in this country. If our students are if taught these skills, if they get some employment, then some creativity, if they have some creativity, even they can start their own. That is some small scale industry, or based on the knowledge and his capacity, so that instead of searching for some employment, he can also give the employment, that is some employment to others. So these are the other feature of this national education policy 2020. So like that, it is making a lot of provisions for life learn, that is life skills. So even if the person who do the research also should be useful to the society, not just for the sake of publications, only for the sake of the degree. That is the university should give the solution to the many problems. If research scholars and teachers sit together and do work for the betterment of society, if they take the societal problems, if you work on that one, if you give some solution to the policymakers or to the society, then definitely many problems can be solved. So that is also teaching in the our National Education Policy 2020. That is, it is giving a multidisciplinary approach. That is a transdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and that's why as part of this our core paper, and also we should teach about ethics and values, morals, and even Indian knowledge system, and some generic elective, that is the people should be exposed to the general awareness about the society. So just we should not produce our graduates only to go to the America or like this. Our people, the students should know about our society also. So these are some of the best futures that is we find in the National Education Policy 2020.
Thank you, sir, for drawing your attention to important features of NEP 2020, and your remarks, your observations, your insights, your ideas will go a long way in clearing the doubts expressed by certain sections of Indian society with regard to NEP. Thank you, sir. I will come back to you again after some time. Now, my question to Professor Vijay Nagarnawar, who is Dean in Rani Channamma University, Belagavi, Karnataka. National education policy is a national document. We have just one policy for the whole nation. And all of us have to accept the policy because it is a national policy and introduced by, implemented by government of India. It is difficult for any committee to prepare a document which is acceptable to every single citizen living in the country. There may be some problems and some limitations, but for these small limitations, we cannot oppose the NEP. In this context, my question to you, Professor Nagannawar, how does NEP 2020 address the issues, concerns, about the minorities and other sections in our society? And if we read NEP 2020 in detail, we will learn that it has tried its best to address all the issues, including linguistic minority issues and Dalit issues and other issues. So I request you to talk about this in the context of NEP 2020, the game changer, written by Professor Tejasvi Kattimani. Over to Vijay Nagarnawal.
Thank you. Good evening, all of you. Hope I am audible, Donor sir.
Yes, you're quite audible.
Yeah. Before I come to the exact point which you want me to talk upon, I would like to take 1 minute to congratulate Kattimani sir for being a member of NEP 2020 committee and to coming out with one of the most wonderful book of its kind for the NEP 2020, which is going to be a testament or which is going to be something like Bhagavad Gita to understand what this country needs at this hour of time. Now, coming straight away to your question, the very first sentence of the book says the purpose of education is to develop a nation. I think this one sentence is enough to answer all your doubts, but then that would not suffice. So I would like to take some 5 to 10 minutes to talk about what NEP 2020 is going to bring the change in this country. The question you asked is how every section is going to be included. Building a country requires everyone's participation in the country. And Sir has crystal clearly mentioned that this NEP 2020 is going to be an inclusive uh, policy which is going to include everyone. Our country has got a rich heritage of 3,000 years. But then somehow the society was not inclusive. When NEP 2020 came into existence some 1 year back, this is my privilege and honor that I'm going to listen to Kattimani sir third time on NEP 2020. And this is the luckiest time where I am able to share my views along with him. So I am honored to say that this NEP 2020 is really going to be a game changer in building the nation. I say so because this is the first time where he talks that NEP 2020 is going to include Dalits, tribals, women, and transgenders. So I am assured after reading this book and after reading the draft of some 70 pages that this country is going to have a new concept of a nation, one nation. That is because everyone is going to have a space. Earlier, probably Dalits, women, tribals were all left. Transgenders were not at all in the scene. But today, all these are going to have their own space. Yesterday itself, it was great leader Birsa Mundaji's Jayanti. Some 20 years back, we never knew who Birsa Mundaji is. But today, the whole country knows. It means the time has come when there is an inclusion of the society and the society is being built and churned into a new definition. This NEP 2020 even talks about Indian ethos and Indian cultures. I would like to salute each member who has contributed in drafting this NEP 2020, and my special salutes to Kattimani sir, where they say that Indian oral literature, music, and Ayurveda will be included and they will be part of our education system. I say so because if I take oral literature in particular, oral literature is a literature existing only with the so called neglected part of the society. Oral literature is not a part of the society which is ahead in terms of education or in terms of economic stability. Oral literature is a literature of tribals, the elites, the neglected. And if that is going to be the highlight of the education system, it means we are trying to bring them in the mainstream. With that, the one more very important sentence which we find in the book is that there is going to be a bridge between rural India and urban India. That is the one sentence which has touched me the most. Rural India, and again somewhere in the book, Professor Kattimani sir says that 70% of the population is still in agriculture fields and it is ignorant. When we say laborers or agriculturists, they are also the left out part of the society, like Dalits, tribals, or transgenders. So, when NEP 2020 is talking about skill enhancement, it is talking about equitability and inclusive education. It means we are going to implement, we are going to train our children for the future, and we are going to tell them that these are the skills which existed in this country for thousands of years, but we did not know how to use it, how to promote it. This NEP 2020 is surely going to say that yes, he mentions in the book very specifically that the potter's child will not become only a potter. He will not be making only pots. But then, sir, I would like to tell you that I would like to submit. I cannot tell you, I would like to submit. If a potter's son knows how to scientifically implement pot making, this is the only country which makes pots so beautifully. Western world doesn't make pots. So this can be a wonderful idea. Likewise, any skill, any traditional occupation of this country's so-called particular society will now be available for everyone. So it is not that just potter's son will become a potter, barber's son will become barber, or any agriculture farmer's son will become farmer. No. Sir has very specifically mentioned that now there is a chance to crisscross the society. Anyone can take this profession. These professions were confined only to particular society because they were not taught as a skill. They were considered to be the profession of that community. But NEP 2020 is going to change the mindset of the people. It is going to introduce all these skills to everyone. So anyone who is attracted to these skills will surely be benefited by that. My son, if he is interested into music, probably it for some say some 100 years back it was not possible. But if my today my son wants to choose music as his profession, he can excel in that. He will be given the correct platform. He will be encouraged. Likewise, sports, music, anything. He has given one more thing which I would not like to forget. Sir, I would like to specially thank for reviving or trying to revive Ayurveda, because that is one thing which this country, this nation is known for years together. We have blindly adopted Western medicine, allopathy medicine, and we are becoming more patient and more weak because of those medicines. I'm not saying that everything of Western medicine is wrong, but then because of our culture, because of our habits, if Ayurveda is re-understood or reoriented in a perfect manner, I think most of the diseases of this nation can be addressed and they can be solved. One more very important thing is there is a mention of introducing Indian ethos and Indian culture. I, as a student of literature, have always studied daffodils and Canterbury Tales, which I have never seen in my life. But then this NEP 2020 is going to introduce lotus, lilies, and Ganges. We have always studied Shakespeare for so many years, but we have never tried to understand what is Bhagavad Gita, what is Mahabharata, what is Ramayana. 80% of the Indians have not studied this. All of us speak about Lord Rama, all of us speak about Lord Krishna, but then we have not understood what exactly it is. If we go to Western countries or if we go to other countries, we find that every child, every family studies these holy books of their own. But in our country, we are missing this part. If these are introduced in the school, if Mahabharata is introduced in the school, we will know what this culture is. Once we know this culture, then we can question why it was only Eklavya who had to sacrifice his thumb. But without reading, without understanding, if we question, then the question remains unanswered or we remain unsatisfied. So, this inclusive concept of NEP 2020 is a great concept. And I don't feel that if this is implemented in the true spirit of its word to word, any section of the society will be left behind or they will not be neglected. In fact, I am very much thrilled to see that all states, all institutes quickly implement NEP 2020 so that this transformation of including everyone begins at the faster and earlier dates. So, with this brief uh, insights of my personal views, I would like to stop here. Thank you, Donu
Uh,
sir.
Thank you, Professor Nagarnavar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have touched upon all very important dimensions of this document. And I'm very happy that you called it the Bhagavad Gita because it is a national document. It's a national document and it's applicable to everyone in the country. And you have also addressed other important issues concerning NEP 2020. And I will come back to you again for the second round.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes, sir.
much, Professor Nagarnavar. Now we
Thank
have
you.
with us Dr. Lingamurthy. Lingamurthy is an assistant professor of economics in the Central University of Karnataka. Lingamurthy is traveling. You are there, Lingamurthy? Dr. Lingamurthy?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lingamurthy. You are traveling, but you could find time for us. Now, we talk about knowledge system, and we teach knowledge to our students, and we don't, educate them on how to use knowledge. What I'm trying to say is application is very important. Skills are very important. And if you read the earlier education policies, you find that sufficient attention or a lot of attention has not been paid to this very important dimension of school education or higher education. And NEP 2020 has paid a lot of attention to skills. And skills have to be taught at all stages in all the programs, whether they are science programs, arts programs, commerce programs, engineering programs. Of course, in an engineering programs, they teach only skills. Yeah, and also in humanities and languages, we have to teach skills to our students. So it is very important to impart skills to our students, and NEP addresses this very important issue. Dr. Lingabhurti, can you please discuss some provisions made in NEP to train students in skills at various levels, from the primary level up to the university level? You are the right person to speak on skills as you are. Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you, sir. First of all, I would like to thank Darwad Katte and as well as you for involving me in this galaxy of intellectuals discussion, and particularly the galaxy of administrators of higher education, particularly Professor Kattimani sir and Professor Bhattu Sathyanarayan sir and yourself are leading the higher education institutions as Vice Chancellor and Registrar. So I'm very fortunate to be part of this panel discussion. And I'm also thankful to all the eminent participants of this program for sparing time to listen me. And I apologize because I'm unable to switch on my video because I'm traveling, as already Baswara Donu sir told. And Professor Bhattu Sathyanarayan sir and Professor Vijay Nagarnavar has already discussed about the skills and different knowledge systems of India. And as Vijay Nagarnavar discussed, NEP 2020, the game changer book written by Professor T.V. Kattimani, it is not only the game changer, it is the India changer and the world changer. Why? Because there are only 5 civilizations in the ancient time, which was already addressed by Professor T.V. Kattimani in the 49th question. There were only 5 civilization countries. That was Mesopotamia, Greek, China, India, and I forget other countries. But out of these 5 civilizations, now only we can see 2 civilized countries which are living today. That is India and China with its own ethos and roots till now. Why? Because I'm telling is India is deeply connected with its roots, as China is deeply connected with its own roots. And those civilizations who disconnected the roots have lost their civilization. Now, today we cannot see the Greek as a Greek. We see the pyramids in the Greek, but we cannot see the Greek as a civilization. And we cannot find the Mesopotamia in the world map because they lost their connection, their roots from the land. But India is still living with a living civilization to the in the world as an example, with all kinds of by having all kinds of problems from the external forces, because only reason is India is connected with its own roots, as we discussed Ramayana, Mahabharata, and other traditional knowledge systems which we had already. But why today we are discussing about the skill is the important question today, as Baswara Donu rightly pointed out to me. The world is changing in a rocket speed. Earlier, we used to talk about the 47 nanometers of technology, and now today we are talking about the 3 nanometers of technology. So completely, there is a rampant change in the world of technology, and the technology has changed the world also. For example, if we look at Indian technical system and Indian education system 4 decades back, whatever the education system we had 4 decades back or 5 decades back, it might be sufficient. But in the 21st century, it is not sufficient, because in 21st century, we are talking about the artificial intelligence and algorithms, big data and robotics. And these kinds of technologies are completely going to replace the existing systems of the skill. So unless we change ourselves to adopt the new technology, which is going to be happen in the world, it is not going to be happening only in India or any country. It is going to be happening in the world, which is to be adopted by Indian citizens, because India is the workforce of the world, and India is the knowledge system for the world, and the world is looking at India because whatever the world has the problems, the solution will come from India only. And it is rightly proven through COVID-19, whatever we have produced to the world as Covishield and Covaxin. And these are the two examples to the world. India can sustain itself and sustain the world with its own sources. And this is what. And second thing, today, if you look at the education system, we have compartmentalized education system. The arts people cannot connect with the science, and science people cannot with literature. And there is a problem of superstition and superiority, inferiority complexes among the students and among the faculty and among the education system, and which is not acceptable at all. All disciplines are equal, and all kinds of education system is equal. It is to be treated as equal. But unfortunately, some kind of superiority and inferiority complex has developed through the system, and it is to be addressed in a proper way. And the NEP is going to address in a systematic manner by inclusive nature of all kinds of knowledge systems, including modern technological systems. And if you look at the employment structure today, we have complete inverse relationship with the education and employment. The higher the education, lower the employment, and the lower the education, higher the employment. There is the problem. We are talking about the education and higher education, but we are not getting employment. And those who are not educated at higher level, they are completely employed. So my point is, all the educated people should get suitable employment opportunities, and all the uneducated or illiterate people should be developed along with the educated people to prove themselves as they are efficient technological people. And second thing, after having engineering background or any kind of sciences or technical background, today employment means we are looking at only government job. The job means only it should come from only government job or MNC. But what is the capacity of government and MNC, private sector, to provide all kinds of, to give employment opportunities to all kinds of people? Certainly, there are limitations from the government side as well as private sector. But the only solution is entrepreneurship. If at all we want to make our students to become entrepreneurs, definitely we need skill. And skill is very much gap in our education system. In ancient times, we used to talk about dual education system, means learning side by side. We used to learn and we used to earn. And there is no gap between the learning and earning. Both were together. Both were together evolved. And that is the reason still today we have all kinds of occupations, professions living today. But today's profession, children may not be in an adaptable situation because there is no economical benefit in that profession. And that is the reason NEP is going to address what kind of technology is required to upgrade the existing professions, that may be caste-based professions or tribal-based professions, whatever the profession it is. There is a technical and skill gap in each and every profession. It is to be filled. And it can be filled only there is a flexible in the education system. A carpenter can access to the engineering degree, and an engineering person can access to the carpenter activity. Then only this kind of gap will be fulfilled. And in this aspect, national education policy is rightly addressing the flexible model of education system by bridging the gap of skill. And in the same way, NEP also talked about diplomas and vocational education system. Vocational education system is very much required to have experiential knowledge of any kind of skill. without having experience. Yoga has to be experienced, it cannot be taught. And literature can be taught, but it has to be
eligible.
experienced. The same way, without having any experience of any profession or any technology, we cannot evolve ourselves. So that is the reason national education policy is talking about vocational and as well as internships. Students, those who are in universities and colleges, should have internship along with their education, along with their degrees. Without having internship, they cannot learn or they cannot have experience from the industry. And that is the reason today we are producing about 1 crore students to the market for employment, but there are no such employment opportunities in the market. And if you look at Israel itself, population itself is 80 lakhs. But the young population in our universities and colleges is about 1 crore. And every year we are producing one Israel. But we are not compete with the Israel in terms of science and technology and skills. And that is the reason NEP is comprehensively discussed about the skill and technology through education by having internship and as well as experiential learning. And this is what I would like to say. And second thing, definitely this NEP 2020, the way our constitution is the modern architect of India, definitely this NEP will be the 21st architect of Indian education system. Thank you, and all.
Thank you, Dr. Lingamurthy. Please stay back. I will come to you again. And you have rightly, highlighted the importance and the significance of the skills. The need of the hour is to train our students in different skills at all levels, because the education should help them to earn their livelihood. So, dear Prakash, please take care. There is some disturbance. Dear viewers and members of the Harvard Katte, we have with us the author of the book, Professor Tejasvi Kattimani, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Central Tribal University of Andhra Pradesh. And as Dr. Lingamurthy, Professor Nakarnavar have said, this is an important document, an inclusive document which tries to address all issues concerning all sections of Indian society. And when Professor Kattimani was, burning midnight oil to prepare the draft NEP 2020, I was there with him in ICNTU. And he spent some 3 to 4 years of his life for this important NEP draft. And after it was implemented successfully in India, he visited almost all parts of the nation and gave talks and presentations on the importance of NEP. And he also addressed a large number of teachers on how to implement this NEP at the grassroots level. And we're very happy that Professor Kattimani sir has joined our panel discussion today. And Kattimani sir, I request you only to share with our audience, viewers, your experience as NEP drafting committee member. And I also request you to share with us the most important things that you would like to talk about in NEP 2020. What is it that you love most? What is it that appeals to you most? I request you to kindly share with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Donorji. Good evening to all. Professor Patu Satyanarayanji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Vijay Nagarnavar, Dean, Dr. Lingamurthy, Professor Basaraj Donor, my friend Professor Sarat Chandra Babu, Professor Chandrakant Yatnur, I can see here, Sri Bhimashankar, Professor Ashish Mathur from Amarkantak, Professor Vijay Kumar Katigadimat, Professor Viradar from Mysore, our good old friend, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, Dr. Prakash Badikai, and all my young friends. Thank you very much. I must express my heartfelt thanks to Professor Donor to think of a webinar on this book. In the introduction of the book, I have written that I don't know how much NEP 2020 drafting committee benefited by me, but I have been benefited by the deliberations, discussions, meetings with people like you all. In fact, I am the first beneficiary of NEP 2020. The deliberations, the presentations of people, especially schools, the NGOs who are running schools in slums, in red areas, running schools in tribal areas, running residential schools for transgenders, these experiences and their success stories opened the minds of the members, especially like me. And the people made members very serious because, we thought it is one committee we should complete. But after talking, meeting, going into deep, we came to know that, especially I came to know that, no, it is not only making a draft. Here we are going to make the future of our nation. We are going to change the fate of our nation. Yes, we all believe nation means not buildings. Universities not means magnificent buildings and beautiful labs. Nation means the women who are empowered, who are healthy, who are happily taking care of their family as well as society. These are the words by Baba Saheb Ambedkar. And how we can make India happy. Thanks to Honorable Prime Minister, he thought of that education should change. Why education should change? Because we have to learn, we have to teach our children the futuristic skills, the futuristic technology, the futuristic science, STEM. PMO always talks about STEM education, science, technology, English, and mathematics. Science, technology, English, and mathematics to tribes, to women, to transgenders, to Dalits, to slum dwellers, students from rural areas. We have to teach them because they are lagging behind in STEM education. Medicine, futuristic food, futuristic lifestyle, futuristic psychology. Futuristic psychology, when in the deliberations I came to know psychological economics. A new subject, it means every subject is connected to each other. Economics, in these days, I studied 4 Nobel laureates economists who have worked on psychological economics. So we are all, our generation and the futuristic generation, we are all not aware of these modern developments. And what is the futuristic economy? How Wi-Fi is center of economics, how Wi-Fi is center of business. Wi-Fi how connects B2B, business to business, business B2C, business to consumers, and how education is disconnected with futuristic economics and futuristic Wi-Fi as center of economics, center of business, center of development, center of progress. And at the same time, education must think of futuristic challenges. Not only futuristic challenges, because when there is a challenge, opportunities follows. If there is a challenge, there are ample of opportunities. Education should teach the children. Education textbook should talk about the challenges of the society, opportunities of the society. And at the same time, the another biggest headline of NEP, we have to learn. Teachers are lifelong learners. So we should be ready to learning, unlearning, and new learning. This, in one question I dealt with this. Learning is a great process, but at the same time, when we teachers, when we makers of future will come to know this learning, what I learned, my skills, my training, my education are not going to address the challenges of the future, then I have to unlearn. Once I unlearn, I have to make myself relearn, new learn. This is how NEP is going to make us, going to inspire us to unlearn, new learn, and lifelong learn. Modi ji fond of telling labs should take the problems of land and to solve. At the same time, land opportunities, the strengths of land should be taken by lab for vetting, for testing. Sharadji is there as a chemical scientist, known chemical scientist. We have to take the problems of the society who are there in the land, take to lab and test it and give a solution. Education must be a solution-oriented teaching and learning process, not creation of problem sources. So thank you. See, I'm going to conclude now. The biggest problem in our Indian society is drinking water. And which is I'm a Hindi professor, you all know, but this is the easiest solution we have, that is ample rainwater is there in India. We have to develop a technology of rainwater harvesting. Developing a technology is always there, but costly technology, costly solution, they are not going to solve the problems of our Indian society. We have to create a frugal solution, cheapest solution. By spending only 1,000 rupees, we can save 5,000 liters of water. This solution we have to create. This is what NEP talks about. At the same time, we have always a problem of power, electricity, lack of electricity. Because of lack of electricity, our slums are suffering. Lack of electricity, our rural people are suffering. Lack of electricity, our farmers are suffering. Our agriculture sector is suffering. Our service sector is suffering. We are producing power by burning coal. We are producing power by using water. It's not sufficient because we are a growing power. We're growing population. So what to do? We have ample of sunlight, solar power. Solar power is available, but it is very costly. We all not creation of simple solar power, creation of simple technology is the duty of the technologists, scientists. But at the same time, it should become a duty of a English professor like Professor Dono, Hindi professor like me, Professor Nagarnawar. How is that? We have to come out of our own silos, our own limitations. That I am a professor of English, I should talk only about Shakespeare. I am professor of Hindi, I should talk about only Tulsidas. Another professor is there, Professor Sharath, he should talk only about chemistry. No, chemistry, physics, botany, solar, electricity, hydroelectricity, Hindi, English, Telugu, Tamil should sit and talk to each other and try to solve the problem. It's easy if we come out of our silos, come out of our subjects and ready to learn other subject, ready to understand the dynamics of other subject and other disciplines. Then only NEP is successful. This is the dream of our leader, Prime Minister. With this, we have another problems like sanitation, quality education, medical facilities. These things, they are not to be addressed by the government of India or government of Andhra Pradesh or government of Karnataka. These small challenges has to be addressed by academicians, has to be addressed by scientists, has to be addressed by technicians, technologists, which we are not doing to, we are not attending, we are failed to do the things. We have, wonderful softwares available, new technologies have come, blockchain technologies, big data, artificial intelligence. Our young friend has spoken about this, that yes, these are the things. Our Lingamurti has spoken lengthy about this, and we have to think over. It's only possible if our attitude we are going to change. If we have a passion to learn many more things. Since 15 years, I left Hindi. I started working on tribal studies, tribal languages, literature, music, art, and language. Now, I'm so happy that I can talk without any preparation. I can write an article without any preparation on tribal related issues. My young friends, around 100 people are here. I request you all ready to learn many more new skills. Think, believe yourself that I am here to make wonders. This book, NEP 2020, is about the capacity of the Indian people to make wonders. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your experiences with us, and also for drawing our attention to important dimensions of NEP. Your rich experience and your exposure and your interaction and relationship with the best academicians across the globe has really helped us. With this, we have come to the end of the first round of discussion. Before I start the second round of discussion, can take one or two questions from the audience. One or two questions. You can ask questions to any one of the panelists or to the author of the book, or you can share your own inputs with us. Take 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes to ask the questions. We can take 2 questions.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Sir, namaste.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are quite audible, Sachin.
Sir, myself, Sachin, I am a student of Central University of Karnataka, Department of Education. Sir, my doubt is, NEP is also focused on integrated courses like as BSc, BEd. So, is there any professional scope for MEd or a PhD in education stream in future days, sir?
I request any one of the panelists to answer this question. Kattimani sir, can you please answer this question?
No, Bhattu Satyanarayan sir is here.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, this B.Ed now, as per this NEP 2020, so far what we are as per existing, after graduation, students are joining into a B.Ed and then M.Ed. Now, as per NEP 2020, it is a course will start only after plus 2 level only. It is a one professional course like engineering, not like after graduation. It is not like that. This is also one professional course, and it starts only at after plus 2 level only. There it is specialized. There only they learn everything. Now that's why so far we have the separate education colleges, the College of Education. Now, as per NEP 2020, every institution should be a multidisciplinary institute where the B.Ed also should offer in that college only, so that they can learn other subjects as per their wish and will. So that is the flexibility is there in the NEP 2020. So now you cannot, this after degree, this will go away after this implementation now.
Thank you, sir. And Dr. Ashish Mathur, Professor of Commerce from Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, is raising his hand for a long time. Professor Ashish, if
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Very good evening to Professor Kattimani sir and Professor Bhattu Satyanarayan ji and the esteemed panelists on board. Sir, I have a small question. There is no doubt that whatever is being touched by Kattimani ji, it becomes gold. And so as with the national education policy. Sir, my small question is that, do you think, sir, that any structural intervention is required to create the readiness in the teachers and the university system for implementing the spirit of the new education policy?
Professor Ashish, thank you very much
Yes,
for a wonderful question. It is game changer, NEP is game changer because the mindset of teachers has to be changed. And we are going to change our own mindsets. And now, yours and my job are not assured. This is perform or perish. The age of perform or perish. Because, actually in the discussion of NEP, new teachers should be appointed only for 5 years. After reviewing their performance, they should be their service should be enhanced. It was a biggest discussion. Some members, including me, we fought against the decision. No, it is going to hamper the educational system. The young brains, the bright brains who are now coming back to academia will go back to again professional courses. So it has been withdrawn. By seeing this, but it is a hanging sword on us. We must be ready to perform that for what I have been appointed. And at the same time, what are my contribution, your contribution, and young teacher contribution for the institution, for the semester, for 1 week lab activities. What are your contributions? If a scientist will say, chemical scientist will say, I have a American patent, so government of India is ready to have a audacity to tell, no, doesn't matter, you might be having a American patent, but what is the use of Indian society? Your American patent, how it is going to address the Indian society? Just tell us. This is the, mindset of the society as well as the government of India as well as the Indian society, including parents. So we teachers should be ready to accept the change. Accordingly, we have to make ourselves, or otherwise, we will very easily, very quickly perish ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
We have just 40 minutes at our disposal, and we can take one more question. One more quick question. Professor Chandrakant Yatnur, I can see, and a lot of people have joined our panel discussion today. It is one of the biggest panel discussions that we have had from Dharwad Katte. Yes, Professor Chandrasekhar, sir. Chandrakant, sir.
Good evening, all of you. Professor Kattimani, sir. Professor Battu Satyanarayana, sir. Professor Basuraj Donor and other panelists. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, first of all, my heartfelt congratulations for a very good book from your side, sir. And before my small submission, one thing I want to tell you, sir. From our side, I'm from Gulbarga University. From government of Karnataka, within Karnataka, Gulbarga University is the pioneer university to implement NEP 2020, sir. We are very successfully implemented NEP 2020 at UG level. Fortunately, I am also part of the committee constituted by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dayanand sir, from Gulbarga University. My small submission, sir, I can say that it is an addition to what Dr. Ashish just now raised. Yes, there is a need of a structural change, sir. Definitely, NEP talks about structural change in the present system, because earlier, as Dr. Lingamurthy said, there was a kind of a compartmentalization of the system. Now, NEP talks about multidisciplinary and gives a lot of importance to skill-based courses. So in this regard, first, teachers have to change their mindset and they have to be ready for this challenge. And also, students are going to get a chance. As Professor Vijay Nagannaur said, our students, they have a lot of opportunities. According to their interest, they can opt the subject. There is a wide choice in the form of open elective. So definitely, sir, we have to be ready for this kind of change. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you, Professor Chandrakant Yatnur. With this, we have come to the end of the first round of discussion. We'll start the second round of discussion, and I request all the panelists to take 5 minutes each so that we can take some more questions at the end of this panel discussion. We have to conclude this discussion by 8 o'clock. We can't go beyond 8 o'clock. Now, I have a question for Professor Battu Satyanarayan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central University of Karnataka. Sir, the implementation of NEP depends more on teachers than students and other stakeholders. How can institutions make teachers realize the necessity of implementing NEP at the grassroots level? But because they are the ones who have to implement at the grassroots level, how can you, as Vice Chancellor, as head of the institution, can make all of us realize the importance of implementing NEP at the grassroots level? What do you say? Sir, you are not audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
The implementation of NEP 2020 is in the hands of the teachers. I already even our Kattimani ji and other speakers they told that the mindset of the teacher should change for its implementation. This that is most important. And without involvement of the teachers, it is not possible to implement effectively. For this, teachers has to dedicate themselves and they should for implementation. And here, majority of what I observed, the teachers have not gone through this document to the NEP 2020. That is a very sad affair. Many people have not gone through this, and only they are criticizing the document, saying that it is helpful to only one society, one section of the people. It is not going to develop. It is not going to contribute for the holistic development. And some people are saying that this is only a part of the hidden agenda, and they wanted to sovereignize the education system. People who have not gone through this document, they are commenting like this. And some people are saying that it is the old wine in new bottle like this. People are there. I observed all these things. Because problem is that they have not gone through the document first. And here also, for that, now at least this NEP 2020 game changer is written by Kattimani. If they go through it, definitely it is he has analyzed and written with several subheadings briefly, more effectively. They can understand very easily. Even the first document which was released by the committee, where our Kattimani was also member, that is headed by the Dr. Kastur Ranganji, that is about 460 pages. That is a very bulk volume, and no one has the patience to go through this. And after that, again, the subcommittee is constituted, and again it is approved in the cabinet committee. And after that, it has come only that 60 pages document. Even people don't have any patience to go through this 60 pages document. And after this, lot of discussions are taking place at different places. And in the university also, that's why now in our university also, because as a vice chancellor, as a leader of the university, whoever leads the university, yes sir, we have seen. Sorry, showing about the book volume, you see the size, and it's a very book volume. So I have gone through the entire book. Even during the committee, when they moved different places, I also interacted with the members of the committee during their preparation of this document. Even I also met the Kastur Ranganji also before that, during this period when they are preparing. So here, and also the documentation in that their document, they clearly mentioned the recruitment of teachers should be given priority. They stressed it. Without teachers, it is not possible to implement any change. And for give the quality education, to bring some creativity among students, the teacher must be there. That's why the education also, that is now the education profession, B.Ed, that is a 4 years degree again. There also they will be given the certificate like first year, second year, diploma, third year, like that. Or for them also they give some training to teach the primary education level or early child care education. Some specialization they will be taught at that level, and teachers also should go to the refresher course. Every teacher, even from the school, primary school to university level. Now the university level, now we have this UC also introduced, and HRDCs, that is Human Resource Development Centers, were also created at the university levels to go for the refresh course, orientation course, and people are attending only for the sake of promotion. Because in the CAS promotion, it is mentioned that the one should complete 1 or 2 refresher courses, then only they are eligible. So under these forced conditions, people are going and attending. But that is very much useful to these teachers, particularly in the early stage. And so like that in the school level also, every time the school teachers has to go for the refresh course. There, some continuous education, that is, continuous training will be conducted as per this National Education Policy 2020. Otherwise, they cannot, that is, modify themselves to the changes which are occurring day by day, day by day. So that is now here, whatever occurs, whatever there knowledge in the 10 years back is not there now. A lot of changes are taking place. The students are more smarter than us. So that is, we should adapt ourselves to the changing circumstances. That's why we are not prepared to change for this one. That's why in the university system, for university teacher, apart from the teaching, they should also concentrate more on the research. If both they go side by side, then only they can update their knowledge and they will be in the system. Otherwise, if we don't do this, we are out of the system and only we will useful only to criticize every document. And we don't have any patience also. Why Kattimani ji is writing all these things? Because he is involved in the research, he is involved in the book writings. So he has written several books. But writing a book is not easy. Teaching a lesson is easy because we are going and referring some books and going teaching. And writing a book, creativity is required. So because of that only he is able to write books, many books. So that is when they write a book, one has to refer several other books. So therefore, that is the system of writing a book. And research, when you write a publication, one research article, whatever we carried out in our laboratory or we carried out, should be only through our publication. Or just if whatever we carried out, people submit in the form of thesis, they go through the some aggregators and the evaluation PhD is awarded. But also this our changes in the PhD rules also, at least minimum of one publication should be there per each per PhD. So that publication means should be published in a journals like Scopus or this Web of Science. That is in the database that should be appeared, not in the paid journals. So that means that journal will be known to, that articles will be known to many people. Many people go through it. If some people may also write and they may also discuss with us. And also the plagiarism is also very important nowadays. Earlier, no one has cared about this one. Now, whenever your paper is referred by someone, something is found, then again punishment will be given. That's why the US has also come out with this plagiarism document and the regulations on plagiarism that should not exceed more than 10%. All these are that is day by day incorporating and bringing the policy documents and in the form of regulations. All these are leading to this is to learn something, to develop the creativity. Otherwise, only mugging and then writing something and submitting. That is not the time now. One has to go through all these things. Definitely, this will be helpful. So then NEP 2020 for its effective implementation, the teachers should themselves adapt to this latest technology and the latest this one. Instead of criticizing everything, if you go through thoroughly, you prepare and conduct workshops, inviting some experts, and then definitely we can understand and we can implement very effectively. That will definitely benefit our future generations. That leads to the development of our country. This is the about the role of a teacher in this particularly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You have really made us realize the importance of NEP and the role that we are supposed to play in higher education. I'm sure that the teachers who are attending and listening to you will learn a lot and make modifications. They require modifications in their attitude and approach to education. Thank you, sir. Now, Professor Vijay Nagannawar, in the first round of discussion, you did mention, you did talk about the India-centric education, and you talked about Shakespeare and other Indian authors. Why should we study only Shakespeare? Why can't we study Indian authors and so on? Now, India-centric research is the need of the hour. How does this very important? How does NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, address this very important issue? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So before I come to your question, I would like to add
You
something
please
to.
take only 3 to 4 minutes to respond to this
Yeah,
question.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just to add something to Honorable Vice Chancellor of Central University Gulbarga, where he said that there is a lot of negativity, lot of comments. It is as simple as this, sir. When a single road is uh, announced that the single road is going to be 4-lane road, there will be a lot of agitation, there will be a lot of retaliation. But once the road is laid down, all people will start enjoying it. Only the condition is that there should not be any potholes. So I am also sure with Honorable Kattimani sir that there will be a fantastic 4-lane road for Indian education, and then we will all be moving towards one nation, one country. Now coming to your question of doing research, exactly this is what I wanted to share with the uh, August gathering here, that when we were pursuing PhD, we were very much fascinated of researching on African studies, then diasporic studies, then Shakespearean studies. Again, Shakespeare, I'm talking of Shakespeare. But then now, as a guide, I have made a point that all my research scholars will study about Indian culture and Indian ethos. I'm very proud to say that 3 of my students are doing research on tribal studies, 2 are doing on Dalit studies, and 1 is doing research on transgender. I didn't have any idea of the NEP 2020 being introduced, but probably the nation is in a mood to change, adopt the change or understand. So that's why we have all tried to come back from African studies, diasporic studies to understand the problems and the uniqueness of this country. We have never tried to understand the rivers, the oral traditions, the forests of our country. So, if we have never tried to understand the important monuments which are around us. We have never tried to read something which is written by the person who is next door to us. We have always been fascinated, which is something written by the Westerners or the Europeans. But now I personally feel that NEP 2020 is surely going to enhance and encourage researchers to take research on the issues, on the beauty of this country and the culture or nation of this country. So I think in the coming days, we don't need to rush to the literature or the ideologies of other nations. It is a high time that we should understand the tribes, the Dalits, the transgenders of our country. If when we talk of transgenders, we have got an example right from Mahabharata. So there is a lot of literature where we can research, we can understand what our nation was and what is the transformation which is taking place of our nation. By academicians like us, if we try to bring out all the hidden pearls of this country, we are going to be one nation. And I am again very sure that this NEP will surely include all the marginalized sections of the society, and we will all be in one nation. Sir, I think I should conclude with these remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Nakadavar, for your very quick response and also for your very pragmatic views. Thank you so much. Professor Dr. Lingamurthy is there?
Yes, sir, please.
Oh, thank you so much. Dr. Lingamurthy, India has its own skills, and we call them traditional skills. And it is very unfortunate that some of our own people doubt Indian skills and Indian traditional skills. Anything you call India, there are people who doubt it, as if India is not capable of producing any knowledge system, and the skills that we have imported to our people, not in a formal way, for thousands of years, is of no use. In this context, I want you to just tell us, how does NEP 2020 address this very important issue? How do we teach, or how can we teach Indian skills, Indian traditional skills to our children? Dr. Murthy.
Thank you, sir. As you said, Indian phobia, the people are having like Hindu phobia. If somebody talks about Hindu, then automatically, immediately reaction will come. How come you talk about Hindu? In the same way, if somebody talks about India, and immediately reaction will come, how come you talk about India? You should talk about something else instead of India. So this phobia is there because of different kinds of isms, not because of the holistic system of thinking. So unless we change our mindsets towards India, because we are living in India, so we cannot address this problem, because the person who is living in India is to be connected to India and heartfully think for India. Then only this kind of problem will be go out. And rightly, this NEP will address this kind of phobias, because NEP is completely connected with the ethos and roots of our own civilization. And whatever the skill sets we have from the ancient times, the NEP is going to connect through formal education system to the informal, the skill setup, where our tribal people have, and the artisanal people have, and the different caste-based professions have. And this is going to be addressed through formal education system by implementing NEP 2020. And when it comes to the ancient education system, how to implement it, and perhaps everybody knows here, Central University of Karnataka is the first university to implement Kautilya Ardhashastra in economics discipline. And when we implemented in Central University of Karnataka 2 years back, there is a roar in all central universities, particularly in JNU and University of Hyderabad. And every faculty of economics department have discussed how come a economics department will implement Kautilya Ardhashastra in economics. It should be in Sanskrit, or it should be in language. How come in economics? I was wondered, the theories which have been developed by Kautilya during those times, almost 2,300 years back, are still relevant in the modern market system, the globalized market system. And we are very fortunate to implement Kautilya Ardhashastra as their compulsory paper in MA economics. And people are getting enjoying by learning Kautilya Ardhashastra in our university. And before implementing, as somebody, Vijay Naganavars has said, when there is this narrow road, when you want to widen the road into multiple ways, then automatically there will be resistance. And when the road is laid down, automatically every people will enjoy. And when we started before implementing Kautilya Ardhashastra, there was a lot of discussion, hue and cry. But when we implemented Kautilya Ardhashastra, each and every student is happy. Why we are learning different theories when we have our own theories as par with modern economic theories? But unfortunately, we could not discuss. And now the time has started by implementing national education policy to bring out our own knowledge systems into the mainstream education system. And second thing, to bring the skill set among the youth. All universities and education institutions are talking about placements. We have placement cell in every education institution, but we simply limited ourselves to give placement to the students. Though we have engineering degrees, though we have management degrees, though we have different professional degrees, we never talks about entrepreneurship. And our rankings also based on the placements. But my submission is, if we start thinking about the entrepreneurship based rankings, how many students have become entrepreneurs through your college or university? And if we make rankings based on the entrepreneurs of our own university, then definitely there will be a big change in the education system. And each and every student will become entrepreneur or try to become entrepreneur to address all kinds of problems. When a person become entrepreneur, automatically a kind of ecosystem through technology driven ecosystem automatically will be established in the society. And when technology is established among the society, then each and every person will benefited out of it, and each and every person will evolve a different kind of ecosystem and different kind of technological system by practicing it and by implementing it and by having livelihood based on this kind of ecosystem. And third point is, there is a huge gap between the universities and society. There is no connection between the lab and land, as our prime minister says always. We are bringing so many scientific evolutions, but these scientific evolutions are not reaching to the common people. That is the reason our honorable prime minister keep on talking about the gap is to be bridged, and this can be bridged through implementing national education policy only. To bridge this kind of gap, we need to have consortiums with the stakeholders, with the industry and education institutions or research institutions, with the common people. When we have this kind of consortiums, then automatically what society is required and what industry is required and what kind of education system is to be implemented in our education institutions, and what student is thinking and what industry is required. So this kind of interaction will happen when we have consortiums, and national education policy has rightly addressed this kind of issue also. And as I said earlier, the national education policy 2020 is the architect of 21st century, and whatever the future problems will be are there, and all those problems will be addressed by implementing national education policy. And thank you, one and all, for giving this opportunity. And particularly, I would like to thank you, Professor Kattimani sir, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Satyanarayan sir. And for involving me, I am thankful to Baswarath P. Donu sir. I'm very sorry, I may not continue because bus is moving, and I have tomorrow one lecture in Dravidian University in Kuppam. So I'm very sorry to all of you for not continuing with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lingamurthy. Happy journey and all the best for your tomorrow's presentation. Now, the last question of this panel discussion is for Professor Tejaswi Kattimani, sir, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Central Tribal University of Andhra Pradesh. Sir, I heard you talk about nation building. In most of your speeches, you highlighted the importance and significance of nation building. The aim of education you have mentioned in several of your speeches is nation building. How does NEP 2020 address this extremely important question, nation building?
Professor, thank you very much. It is just a continuation of Lingamurthy's debate. There is a dealing between society, the process of nation building, and education. We have to connect these things. Education is nothing but making the society to make a Sujalam Sufalam society. We have to give the best education to our children, which should be included our nation, which should be able to talk our nation. Education should not generate inferiority towards our society and nation, and as well as my mother and my father. Education should create a pride of my mother. Maybe my father and mother never gone to school, never seen the face of the school, but they were scientists. They were educated people. They were society makers, nation makers, and about, bonded by ethics and moralities, which is ethics and moralities already there in our society, in our water, in our forest, in our weather, that we have to collect these things into textbooks and classroom deliberations, as well as our researches. Our research should be focused on, for example, I would like to give my state example, Andhra Pradesh. In Godavari belt, there are around 300 nurseries. It is surveyed by our university. The economy generated by these nurseries, the employment generated by these nurseries, the oxygen generated by these nurseries, it is never academia thought of to study and create a reliable data. So, coming to the ground of our nation, coming to the ground of our society, to understand the successful stories and failure stories, more than success stories, failure stories, why they are failed, how to make them successful is education. Thank you.
Sir, you are not audible.
Thank you so much. With this, we have come to the end of the second round of panel discussion, and we have just 10 minutes at our disposal. We can take two quick questions, one or two quick questions.
Professor, our chemistry professor, Sharad Babu,
Yes,
I
sir.
think is
Yeah. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I am Professor Sharad Chandra Babu, is a chemistry professor and also the principal in School of Science, Visakhapatnam. It is a great opportunity for me to participate in this great event. So, thankful to the Professor Kattimani garu and also the Satyanarayan garu and the organizer Basavaraj garu. Thank you, Anandal. And it's a very great event. And I think maybe rightly pointed out, many experts have mentioned this, the need of the NEP for our society. Many things, because we are, our society is giving just degrees. Instead of degrees, we need skilled professionals. No, that is NEP is really addressing. So either Professor Kattimani garu already mentioned. So our society has many challenges. So in many times, our Honorable Prime Minister also, Professor Modi garu also mentioned. So our society has to build a skilled professionals, to address the challenges for our society. Particularly, we have when you see for example, the energy sector, already Kattimani garu mentioned, the energy sector in suppose when petroleum fuels are going to exhaust in 100, 200 years. So what next? We have to develop an alternative fuel. So either hydrogen or some other fuels, we have to develop our solar energy, we have to develop. So our the students also has to learn how to support our society from the beginning. That is very, very important. This NEP is definitely is a game changer that Kattimani garu and Satyanarayan garu mentioned. It's a very, very the skilled professionals how to develop by implementing this NEP. I think only thing is when you implement this system in all universities at a stage is very, very useful to our society. Thank you for giving this opportunity for me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We can take the last quick question. I request one of the young teachers to either
Sir,
ask questions.
myself, Dr. Sridhar. Hello. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you're audible, Mr. Sridhar.
Yes.
You can talk.
Yeah, myself, Dr. Sridhar, sir, from Siddhaganga Institute of Technology. I have a small question to Professor Tejasvi Kattimani, sir. Before that, I just wanted to brief. 2018, we started a group, and with me, three students joined. B students, they joined me, and by the end of 2020, what happened? We were having good publications and three patents on our name, and finally at the end of their engineering degree, they started a company also. Now we have collaboration with American company.
Sridhar, sorry to interrupt. We have just a few minutes left. Can you please
Yes, sir.
ask
Yeah,
straight questions too?
yeah. Just give me 2 minutes, sir.
Yeah.
What happened? This is the positive side of the story, and negative side. We were also having few students from rural background, sir, and they were feeling really bad, and sir, we didn't do much after joining the engineering. So in this regard, on the rural background students, so how this NEP is going to help? I just want to know the feedback from you, Professor Tejasvi Kattimani, sir.
Thank you, Sridhar ji. Since I know you and the activities of your department in SIT, I must acknowledge your inputs. Yes, technological education and science education should reach the rural students. To touch the hearts of rural students, we need to change the medium of instruction.
Yes.
A hybrid mode of medium of instruction will be helpful to reach the students from rural areas or mother tongue students from mother tongue background. I know I used the hybrid mode of language, English as well as their mother tongue will help them. And in many countries, it is successful. Hybrid mode of language used in classrooms is very scientific and very much useful. So by using that, and at the same time, one thing is the wrong misconception of our society. Students from mother tongue background, students from rural background, children of a farmer, children of a tribal family, girl child and transgender child, physically handicapped child may not excel. They may not be good in mathematics. They may not be good in English. They may not be good in music, because I can see Dr. Jaydevi Jangam Shetty, a renowned musician. So our wrong conceptions will hamper the future of the children. Every child, what our Bharati Dharma says, every child is a boon. Every child is a greatest gift to the world. So everybody will come with their some specialization, some power of doing something. That we have to recognize and promote and support the children, so that they will, with confidence, definitely they will be able to do something in the plan. Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. For your valuable inputs.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Sridhar. The Harvard Katte proposes to organize 2 panel discussions in this month. One panel discussion on this very important book.
Jaydevi would like to talk something. Dr. Jaydevi.
Sir, thank you for the opportunity, sir. My question is to Honorable Vice Chancellor of Andhra Tribal University, Professor T.V. Kattimani, sir. Sir, namaste, sir. Sir, in our education system, music has been considered extracurricular subject. Is there more scope to music as a subject in new education policy, sir?
Yes. In our committee, madam, one foreign mathematics professor, very renowned professor is there, and he's very good mathematics. He got Nobel Equal Prize in mathematics. He acknowledges, he said, even he has written, he is good in mathematics because his mother and father, they were great lovers of music. There is a very very thick connection between, close connection between music, art, painting, and other disciplines. So we have to understand the importance of music, yoga, Ayurveda, especially music. Now, music therapy, not only it is music, now it is a music therapy has emerged in psychology as well as multinational hospitals where musicians are being requested to come and sing a song or make one instrument, musical instrument, and they are highly paid. Only thing is we have to make music departments, compulsion music departments in every institute, at least universities, so that everybody will be able to learn music. Or like people like us, we don't know music, but we are great lovers of music. This is how we are going to make a happy society in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dharwad Katte proposes to conduct two panel discussions in this month. One on Snakes in the Ganga, Breaking India 2.0, written by Rajiv Malhotra and Vijaya Vishwanathan. And Dharwad Katte also would like to have panel discussion on India's bilateral relationship with England in view of the appointment of Mr. Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister of England. We may contact Chandrakant Yatnur. He is the right person to talk about the bilateral relations. The Dharwad Katte wants to expand its scope, by having panel discussions on different issues, including Indian polity and world polity.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have spent 2 hours discussing this very important book, NEP 2020, The Game Changer, written by Professor Tejasvi Kattimani. I'm sure that I'm getting a lot of responses from the viewers, from the audience, and they are very happy. They have learnt a lot today from this panel discussion. I invite Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Reddy to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Around 2 hours discussion has been taken place with all the intellectuals. And first and foremost, I thank Professor Satyanarayan Sirji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Central University of Karnataka, for being with us with this very hectic schedule and sharing great knowledge on NEP, which is creating a lot of changes with respect to the education system in India. Thank you so much, sir. And even I extend my very heartfelt thanks to Professor T.V. Kattimani Sirji, Vice Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Central Tribal University, Vijayanagaram, and Hyderabad, and for giving us an opportunity to conduct an panel discussion on your kind of Bhagavad Gita, as said, and which can be a kind of guide to all the teachers and even the students in getting into a lot of things with respect to the NEP 2020, the game changer. Sir, thank you so much for being with us, sir. And even I extend my thanks to Professor Vijay Nagandav, sir, Dean, Faculty of Arts, Rani Chennamma University, Belgaum, and for sharing a great knowledge on this book and giving a lot of insights regarding this book. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. And I extend
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I extend my thanks to Dr. S. Lingamurthy, sir, Assistant Professor, Central University of Karnataka, and even he had given a lot of information with this book and even extended the great knowledge on NEP, how it can be, bringing a great change with respect to education system in India. And even I thank Professor Basuraj Tonu sir, and who is the backbone to the entire exclusive panel session of on this book, NEP 2020, the game changer. and coordinating this panel discussion, and the president of Dharwad Katte and registrars in Karnataka. Thank you so much, sir, for conducting a great discussion. Thank you very much. And even we have many questions in the chat box, but due to the time constraint, we are unable to take up the questions. We are very sorry for this. And definitely these questions, and of course, raising a question is leading a lot of, the uh, it creates a kind of curiosity to get into the book and get so more information. And very much to all the intellectuals who have been a part of this panel discussion, more than 100 the viewers were there here. And even this particular program will be in live and you are out to in our YouTube channel, and more than 200 people viewers were watching this. And it has been the witness to this wonderful discussion. I thank each and everyone. And every Saturday, Dharwad Katte conduct continuously different kind of programs, and be with us and being a part of Dharwad Katte, and let us do something with respect to the literature and everything. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Only
Thank
1
you.
minute, sir.